Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to another Man Down this week. But it's just me and Ellie this week. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're all welcome, and welcome to another episode of the NFL podcast. Today it's going to be a bit different. Before we get into things, what I want to do is say a massive thank you to everyone that was watched last week. You guys have made it the most viewed NFL podcast that we've done, and it was one of the most popular videos we've done in a very, very long time. So if it wasn't for your guys' support and with all your guys' help, there wouldn't be the where we are today. So thank you ever so much. So if you're watching this as a video, welcome. If you're listening to this, you don't need to worry about this bit. But if you keep seeing me doing this, it's because I got my notes on that side. So I'm going to be looking over there to do that. And then we will be talking to Ellie and getting her reaction. There's no Josh due to his school, so he's unable to come today. So let's get into it. We've got a big weekend coming up. If you haven't already, go on to the Robbos Gobcast NFL Twitter page where we have done a review of last weekend's action, where we went live on Twitter for the very first time to get interact with you guys, to have a little chat about the show and about the games really, and then we reviewed it. So this podcast is all about building up to this weekend's action. So we got the two goats going against each other. We got Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady, who is coming into this, who has had a rejuvenated Bucks team against a Packers team, who, let's be fair, look like one of the strongest teams in the division at the moment. In the whole of NFL, they look absolutely spectacular, especially the game that they had against the Rams. But let's talk about some stats. At the moment, when we record this, Green Bay are to win at 8-15, and Tampa Bay are 11-8 to go on to win the game outright this weekend. Let's talk some stats. We went through it, but Tom Brady this season has successfully done 401 out of 610, 4,633 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 12 interception, where Aaron Rodgers has done 372 out of 526, 4,299 yards, and 48 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. You've got Jones on the side of Tampa Bay, who's rushed for 978 yards for 7 touchdowns. And you've got Jones, the other Jones, for the Packers, who has rushed for 1,104 and 9 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Devontae Adams is by far one of the best wide receivers in the league by this year, who has received for 1,374 yards and 18 touchdowns. And Mike Evans on the Tampa Bay side, who's received for 1,006 yards and 13 touchdowns. ESPN predictor, we know we did this last week and we found it quite fun to do, so we're going to carry on with it this week. They're predicted Packers to win, and they're 53.2% sure that the Packers are going to win this. But let's talk a little bit of history, shall we? Let's dive into a little bit of history. So Green Bay Packers lead the overall series 33-22-1. There's only ever been one draw. The previous fixtures where one game happened already this season, where the Bucks come out on top, winning 38-10. And then from then on, it has all been apart from the last three. After that, it's all been the Packers winning 26-20, and then 20-3, and then 35-26. And the last Tampa Bay win before that was the 8th of November 2009, where the Packers lost 28-38. So Ellie, I'm going to go over to you. Who do you think is going to come out on top? Is it going to be the Tom Brady goats, or is it going to be the Aaron Rodgers goats? Over to you.
Okay, so Packers versus Bucks. So honestly, I do believe the Packers are going to win. I believe they're going to dominate. I don't think there's any way around it. I think with the performance Russ and Gary put in with 1.5 sacks against the Rams, and then with Aaron Rodgers' offensive line is like insane in comparison to Tom Brady's. Also, Aaron Rodgers is, although he may not be younger, I feel like he plays with more energy than Tom Brady does. I mean, Green Bay also has Aaron Jones. I mean, yes, the Bucks have. I mean, Leonard Fournette put in 239 yards against the Saints. So I mean, I guess that helps. And I mean, Tom Brady has been very consistent in the playoffs, I guess you could say. And I don't know, Devin White again put in a good defensive performance against the Saints. But honestly, I don't think that Tom Brady or anybody is a match for Aaron Rodgers and Aaron White, etc. Aaron Jones. Oh, Aaron Jones.
Perfect. Prediction time. We're going to go for our predictions. Here we go. I am going. Oh God, Jesus! I'm in 2 minds with this. As much as I like the Bucks. I've got a new fond for them due to a previous person that was on this podcast. But I don't think anyone's going to be able to stop Aaron Rodgers. And I also think he's going to get his bit between the teeth for the game that they already played this year. So I'm going for a Green Bay Packers win. And I think it's going to be, I think they're going to win by 10. That's how I feel the game's going to go. Ellie, prediction. Who's going to win?
My prediction for a Bucks-Packers game is, I believe, as much as I don't want it to be true, I know the Packers are going to come out on top for probably, I don't know. I feel like, no, I think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be like 45-10. I have no faith in the Bucks. I don't know, Bucks just kind of had the easiest, I don't want to say the easiest run, but I mean, the Packers are the Packers, so.
Perfect. Lovely stuff. Thank you ever so much, and welcome back. Absolutely superb with your analyst and predictions last time, and absolute top. So next game, we've got Kansas City at the Browns versus the Browns. Sorry, I think why have I got Kansas City versus the Browns on my sheet when it's the Bills? I think I've had a bit of a mind fuck just then. But yes, Kansas City are 8-13 on to win, and the Bills are 5-4 on. I think it's that close at the moment because of the Patrick Mahomes situation, where we don't know whether he's going to be able to play or not, and we don't know whether he is going to be fit enough to play in this game because of the concussion that he received during the game as well. So they're talking it could be a neck concussion, which some people think it could. They don't really know how to treat that back in, but they also think the head concussion could roll him out. But let's talk about it. Mahomes this year has thrown for 4,740 yards with 38 touchdowns. Very close by Josh Allen, who's thrown for 4,544 yards and 37 touchdowns. So he's only 1 touchdown behind Mahomes, and rightly so. Allen is being talked about in the MVP race as well with Mahomes as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plans out. And I'm excited for this one because this is very much the new guard in the AFC versus the old guard in the NFC as well. You've got 2 rushers that got the main rusher for Bills is Singletary for 687 yards. And then you've got the main rusher for KC for 803 yards. But I think it's all about receiving. And you could tell by the numbers. The most received is Stephon Diggs for the Buffalo Bills for 1,532, 35 yards, 8 touchdowns, where Thomas Kelce, the tight end for the Kansas City, has got 1,416 yards with 11 touchdowns. The NFL predictor has gone for the Bills. Presume that's because of the Mahomes situation against Kansas City is 46.25% on to win it. Ellie, I'm going to go to you before we go on to the history. Your analyst before the game, where do you think this game's going to be?
Okay, so Chiefs versus Bills. I think most of the game depends on whether or not Mahomes is cleared. The injury report comes out later today on Wednesday. But no, starting with the Chiefs, I mean, after Mahomes was out, I mean, the Browns are really, like, they probably could have won. But I don't know, Chad Henne had a decent game. Tyreek Hill. No, but I mean, Andy Reid literally repeated their Super Bowl play just so they could win it again. I don't know. Andy Reid's not my favorite person in the world. No, Travis Kelce, I mean, he was good per usual, but I feel like without Mahomes, it's completely useless. And then going to the Bills, big man, Josh Allen had 200 yards against the Ravens. Devin Singletary had, 30 yards. Stephen Diggs had 106 yards. I don't know. I feel like if the Bills play a little bit like they did in the second half against the Ravens, because obviously that first game was slow, but otherwise, I feel like that's super good. And then, can we talk about Tyler Bass for a second? I don't know how the freak this man expects to play in the NFL longer. He missed 2 out of 3 field goals. I mean, to be fair, Cody Parkey lasted this long, but I mean, if you can't rely on your kicker, because kicking can totally even up a game or whatever, etc. But better hope Tyler Bass actually does better, because the kicking against the Ravens was atrocious. But no, I feel like if they're out,
lovely, jubbly. History. Let's go on to history on this. Kansas City last played the Bills in October. It's looking like where Kansas City won 26-17, and the Buffalo Bills win the overall series 26 wins, 22 losses, and 1 draw. The last time before that they played was in 2017, where the Bills won 16-10. 2015, where the Bills lost 22-30, and then in 2014 the Bills lost 17-13, and in 2013 the Bills lost again 23-13. So it looks like it's going to be, but if history's anything to go by, it's looking like very much a high scoring game, but I think it's all going to be about Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. If Patrick Mahomes in, I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it's going to go to the way. I tipped KC versus Packers at the start. I'm going to stick with that. I do think it's going to be Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers for the Super Bowl title. But I'm also going to say as well, I wouldn't be surprised or shocked if Josh Allen picks up the W and gets the Buffalo Bills to the first time to a Super Bowl in I don't know how long, in 20, 30 years, I think I saw. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's excited. So, Ellie, where are you going? What's your prediction, and who do you think is going to come?
my boy Josh Allen's going to come out with a hell of a performance. But yeah.
Perfect. Well, that was a nice quick episode, wasn't it? We try and do it nice and sweet. We try and get it all done for you as quickly as possible, so you guys can enjoy all day. But don't forget, thank you guys ever so much for all the views, all the follow, all the likes, everything that you guys have been done on our Twitter page and the Instagram page. But we will see you guys next week, where we will discuss the Super Bowl. Ooh, quite exciting now. Ooh.